And we're live.
Sorry, everyone. The conference call Far West.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our special meeting of Municipal Council for Wednesday, November 24th, 2021. I'd like to call the meeting to order at this time and ask if there's any declarations of interest. Seeing none, I will move to the land acknowledgement statement. The town of East Gwillimbury recognizes and acknowledges the land originally used and occupied by the First Peoples of the Williams Treaty First Nations and other Indigenous peoples, and on behalf of the Mayor and Council, we would like to thank them for sharing this land. We would also like to acknowledge the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation as our closest First Nation community and recognize the unique relationship the Chippewas have with the lands and waters of this territory. They are the water protectors and the environmental stewards of these lands, and we join them in this responsibility. Item D, we have no deputations. Item E, we have a report.
Through you, Madam Mayor, we've prepared a report today that is essentially a revision of our previous report presented to Council. The revisions include the options presented to Council for the Health and Active Living Plaza sustainability concepts, and the revised report includes the concepts presented to Council and Budget Committee and staff's recommendation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that Council may have.
Questions of members of Council? I'm not seeing any. I think people are still reading a little bit. Any questions of Council? Anyone would like to speak? Excuse me. I'm not seeing any at this time. We have a resolution in front of us. Do I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Persicini. Councillor Crone. This is the report, Joint Community Parks, Recreation, Culture and Finance Report, Health and Active Living Plaza Update and Additional Sustainability Options. There we go. Be it resolved that the Joint Community Parks, Recreation and Culture and Finance Report, CPRC 2021-07, dated November 24th, 2021, entitled Health and Active Living Plaza Update and Additional Sustainability Options, be received, and that Council approve, including additional net zero option Group B as presented in the November 22nd, 2021 Budget Committee meeting, and within this report with the Health and Active Living Plaza and project and the additional budget of $990,000, including taxes, and that Council approve the Phase 2 pre-construction fees not to exceed $470,000, excluding taxes, and as described in this report. Oh, I have a mover and seconder for this, please. Councillor Persicini and Councillor Carruthers. Questions?
May I have a recorded vote, please?
Yes, you can. We'll just set it up here.
Through Madam Mayor, Councillor Roy DeClemente has requested for a recorded vote. Councillor Roy DeClemente, how do you vote?
Yes.
It is. Councillor Carruthers, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Crone, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Foster, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Haxton, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Morton, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Persuccini, how do you vote?
Double yes.
Mayor, that motion's been carried.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to item 2, Development Services Planning Branch Memo, Notice of Intent to Demolish Structure on a Listed Heritage Property, 18499 Leslie Street. And Mr. Ramuno, I believe you have carriage of this one.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. So this memo is really to notify council of a request to remove the silo on a Walnut Farm was received a couple weeks back. We had taken this matter to our Heritage Advisory Committee. They have no objection to the removal of the silo. The silo itself isn't considered a significant attribute of the listed property. The main residential dwelling and the barn are the two significant attributes of the property, and the owner needs to remove the silo because it was built originally in the early 1900s. The house and the barn date back to the mid 1850s. The silo was built very close to the barn, and the owner needs to carry out some repairs to the structure of the barn. And his intent is obviously to continue to maintain the barn. So we thought it was prudent to take this, bring this forward to council. So he could then proceed with demolition and the ongoing repairs to the barn.
Thank you, Mr. Ramuno. Questions? Councillor Crone, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through you to staff and council. This one hurts. The Walnut Farm actually at one time was in the Crone family name, so it's extra special meaning. But I'm looking at this and the pictures. It's not unlike what went through with my own family farm. We had the same exact thing happen with the foundation, and it's a tough one. But it's to preserve the barn. I think this has to be done. So it's you hate to see it go, and it hurts. But it's maybe you have to sacrifice the silo to save the barn. So it's unfortunate, and I appreciate the Heritage Committee being generous on this. Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's it for me.
Thank you. Councillor Roy DeClemente, go ahead, please.
I also wanted to comment that obviously the landowner is respectful and is essentially investing in protecting this property. They're not allowing it to fall into disarray, and they're doing this work in order to preserve it. And so, from that perspective, it's to be commended. When I heard that this was happening, I drove by and I was like, there is a silo. It's actually, if you're driving by on Leslie Street and you're looking for it, it's behind a bunch of trees, so it's hard to know, but there actually is one. Obviously, when you get up close, it would be much more prominent, but from the street, it's not as prominent. And so I don't anticipate that we'll have a lot of questions from residents about this, but certainly something that needs to happen in order to preserve the larger asset. Thank you.
Thank you. Just for council, I had an opportunity not that long ago to be on site and have a look at the barn inside and outside, as well as the silo. The barn certainly needs a lot of work, and it cannot be done with the silo the way that it was positioned when originally built. So I love silos. They're just something special to me from my rural roots, but this one needs to save the barn, and they're asking us to give approval. Any other questions or comments? We have the report in front of us. And I have a mover and a seconder, please.
I'll move it.
Councillor Roy DeClemente, Councillor Foster, all those in favor? And that's carried. Just, pardon me?
Through you, Madam Mayor, the next item is item F, confirming bylaw.
Yes, thank you. Confirming bylaw moved by Councillor Foster, seconded by Councillor Morton. All those in favor? That's carried. And we have an adjournment at 11:58. Moved by Councillor Crothers, seconded by Councillor Bersaccini. All those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.